Good morning, all dear students. Myself, Sushil Kumar Goyal, Chairman, Board of Studies Operation. And this is a wonderful morning. We have all luminaries of ICAI. We have Jai Bhai, who is Chairman, Board of Studies Academic. We have Manu Bhai. He is basically Manu Agarwal from Kanpur, Central Council member. He knows much about the SSP. So any queries related to SSP, Manu Bhai will definitely take up this. We have Vice President Sir with us, CA Dr. Devasis Mitra from Calcutta, and our Honorable President Sir, CA Nihar Jambusaria. He is also available with us. So friends, you have option to interact with all of us. Chairman of Board of Studies Academic and Operation will be available here, and Manu Bhai will supporting in SSP. For this inaugural session, I have invited President Sir and Vice President Sir. Both are here. To start this session, I just want to inform all the viewers, all the participants, that you can ask your questions by typing in the chat box or whatever the question box you are having on the screen. You can type whatever queries coming to your mind. We will try to attend all the queries. Let me repeat. We will try to cover all the queries. Whatever query we will able to take today in this 1 hour session. If anything left out, we will answer through email, because we are also capturing to your email addresses. We will try to answer these queries through email. So friends, I am straightway asking Jai Bhai to give his opening address.
A very good morning to all of you. Honorable President ICAI, CA Nihar Jambusaria ji, Honorable Vice President ICAI, CA Devasis Mitra ji, my council colleagues, CA Sushil Goyal ji, Chairman Board of Studies Operations and Student Skills Enrichment Board, my another council colleague, CA Manu Agarwal ji, who is handling the SSP portal, and all the officers of our institute, all the various committees, and my dear student friends. Once again, a very good morning, and let me welcome you to this very important interactive session. First of all, let me compliment and thank CA Sushil Goyal ji for conceiving this particular idea of interacting with our own students. Friends, for ICAI, the most important people are the students, because students are the future members, and you are the future of this profession. You are the future of this nation, and you are actually the future of this entire world. You are among those selective youth who have decided that during your youth, you utilize your time productively for acquiring knowledge, for acquiring the skill set, for acquiring that attitude and developing the aptitude, and thereby helping the commercial world in future. So I am really very, I can say, excited to interact with the youth of this particular nation, our students. Friends, I'll very quickly touch upon Board of Studies Academics. My dear friend Sushil Goyal ji will talk about Student Skills Enrichment Board, which is doing wonderfully well for developing the skill set of the students. We all, Sushil Bhai, Manu Bhai, we all work with the guidance of our Honorable President Sir Nihar Jambusaria ji and Vice President Devasis Mitra ji. With their guidance, we all are working together harmoniously for the benefits of the students. If I talk about Board of Studies Academics, this year our major agenda was to make study material student friendly. If you have observed that the new study material has more diagrams, more graphs, and the design has been made in such a way that it is more interesting and more attractive. Our endeavor was to reduce the number of pages. We had number of meetings with the faculties, and we weeded out certain concepts which are not that much contemporary. And at the same time, if you observe, we have added a few questions, case studies. We have added a few practical examples. Thereby, maybe in terms of number of pages, the study material has not reduced drastically, because that was not our intention. But in terms of the content, I am sure the students will have the benefit of going to the study material much more quicker and in an interesting manner. Along with that, you know very well that the institute in the recent years have been providing the study material under a PDF format. So with your mobiles, with your laptops and iPads, you have an access to the entire ICAI material at a glance. One step further, moving further, what has been decided in the last 2 to 3 years has been converting the entire study material in the audio book format. The interesting thing is that, up till now, if I talk to our Vice President, sir, up till now the students who were always traveling with, that headphones and earphones, they had a choice only of listening to Bollywood music or Hollywood music. We are giving them the third choice, and that is the audiobooks of ICAI. I am sure which will be a very enriching experience for them. Sorry, Bollywood, we are snatching away the time from you and providing the students with audiobooks so that they can utilize their travel time also very effectively. Along with that, in a longer run, you will see, student friends, that we are making more and more videos and we'll embed them with your study material. So, what is going to be your future study material? It is going to be, you are going to the study material, you are click a link, and immediately an expert will emerge. An expert across the globe, right? We have selected experts. They will discuss with you about the topics. So this is the major initiative Board of Studies Academics has taken up. Another important thing is RTPs, improvement of RTPs, because RTPs forms the basis for your preparation of examinations. Similarly, mock test is a very important initiative. We have paid high attention to the mock test because once you are very much good with your net practices, then you can go for cricket matches in the best possible manner. Another important thing is regarding the practical training test. Friends, practical training is the core part and forms the basis of this particular profession. I can say it is the soul of the profession. For ensuring that you go for the practical training in a positive manner and learn out of it, mock test, practical tests are conducted time to time, and that is another initiative that has been taken up by Board of Studies Academics. Virtual coaching is another thing where we have seen students locking in numbers. The number of students who have attended our virtual coaching has been really great, and you'll be happy to see to it that it is under the guidance of President, Vice President, sir, we decided that our students should not pay a single rupee for that. We should go out of the way to come with the best faculties and providing the best virtual classes. And the years to come, you will have more and more improvement in the virtual classes. Another important thing is the journal, student journal. Student friends, if you have gone to the recent student journals, they are much more student friendly. Every journal talks about the contemporary topics. Every journal talks about the important events happening for students. And every journal, the most important thing is, covers some aspects related to your study material in a very compact, in a very lucid, and a very graphical or pictorial presentation. I am sure that will help you and serve as the last minute revision guide. So these are some of the initiatives. Student friends, more than 3,000 changes have been made in the study material for books in the last year, and the current year, and the journey continues. You will have more and more richer experience as a student when you go through our study material. I think these are some of the initiatives. My colleagues, Manohar and Sushilbhai, are going to add to the other, I can say, initiatives, and I would request Sushilbhai to give the information to our students regarding the International Student Conference also, which is going to take place in Kolkata. Because of the virtual mode, I am sure, Sushilbhai, thousands of students across the country can be benefited. Please provide information regarding that also. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jayabhai, for wonderful initiative from academics. This is the revision of study material for which students were always looking for, and the virtual classes. These two important things which you are taking care, and students always wanted this. Since when we were a student, we also looked for it. Jayabhai correctly mentioned they are looking after the academic, and we are looking after the soft skills. And the main area of activities of Board of Studies operation, that is the Skill Enrichment Board, is conducting of the conferences and seminar. And this conference, that is international conference, and is an annual event. And this year, the host is Calcutta, and it will be organized on 29th and 30th. We are charging 149 rupees from the student and in turn what you are getting, because first I mentioned what you have to pay, and you have to pay your time of 2 days. And what you will get in turn, there will be 5 motivational speakers like Shiv Khera, Akash Gautam, Sister Shivani, and this Jaya Kishori and Gyan Vatsal Swami. 5 motivational speakers and 6 technical sessions where 24 speakers, student speakers, will take part in these sessions. And what you are getting, this is the unique feature of this year international conference, that students who are registering online will also get the conference kit sitting at their home, or I can say they have to collect from the branch offices. I will come to you more highlights about the conference. Let me first go for this interaction session first. So I am now requesting Manu Bhai Agarwal, who is from Kanpur, the introduction of SSP, which is the sea change in the IT scenario, or the life of the members and the student. When I was speaking on the World Congress, World Bank program regarding this ICAI initiatives, they have appreciated like anything. Manu Bhai, this is for your information. They appreciated SSP portal which ICAI is running, and how we have done such big force, the 7 lakh students, 3 lakh 50,000 members, all data in one portal that is of 75 years. Almost 75-year data is captured there. Over to Manu Bhai for the interaction with the students.
Thank you, Sushil Bhai, my dear friend, council colleague, and Chairman, Board of Studies Operations, the Honorable President of ICAI, C.A. Nehar Jambusaria ji, the Honorable Vice President, C.A. Devashish Mitra ji, and Chairman of Board of Studies Academic, C.A. Jay Chhera ji, my council colleague, and all the students who are attending this webcast. A very good morning to all of you. Well, friends, we heard Jay Bhai telling about what has taken place, how the academic portion, which you are mostly interested in, is evolving, is taking place, the classes, the revision of study material. I distinctly remember when I was a student, the study material was a very different kind of study material, just some loose papers being given. Now it's come up as a wonderful book, and to top it all, I think that material is sufficient for you to pass and you to make a good career for yourself. Now, friends, Sushil Bhai, as he also explained, is handling the conferences, the various programs, the various soft skill development, which is also very essential. I would just tell you a little about the SSP. The SSP, as Sushil Bhai said, is something which has connected all the students and members. We have embarked upon a path to become totally paperless and have succeeded to a great extent. What has happened is all the paperwork, all the forms which you used to fill have gone away or are going away. And very soon we'll become 100% paperless. The examination system, which was in isolation, is also now going to be connected, and you will get pre-filled forms wherein you will have to even reduce the amount of work which you do. So this is all in the offing. People will say, yes, this is digitization. Well, friends, it was a big challenge. 75 years of data, as Sushil Bhai said, was something which we had to basically arrange under a single platform and migrate it. It was a challenge, but with the guidance of the President, Vice President, we've been able to do it. Well, friends, I just talk about something. You've all embarked upon a career which I think would really reap wonders for you. You'll become chartered accountants and become great professionals. What is happening in the world? I'll just talk about a few things generally. Well, friends, today, unfortunately, negativity makes headlines. People follow WhatsApp, but just one line on the WhatsApp and they start believing what is being said is true. The world with this corona has become full of negative thoughts. So I just want to dwell upon a small thing of 5x1 positivity. What I would like you to do is, friends, can we make a change? Can we actually bring this negativity and change it to positivity? Well, what I would suggest is, friends, anything from today which is positive, we say in 5 sentences. And anything which we find negative, we say in just 1 sentence. For example, suppose we are having a headache. Somebody comes and asks you, how are you? Well, just say, it's a small headache and finish it off. Instead of going on, I'm not feeling well, I'm down since yesterday, and keep on bragging about it till the other person also has a headache. So what we should do is, we should try and ensure that every good thing we say in 5 sentences. I can give you another example. You go to a restaurant and you have good food. Well, whenever we have something bad or something wrong happens, we call the chef, call the whole management, and keep on telling them in not 5, even 10 sentences. So when we have good food, can't we just call the chef and say 1 good sentence, 2 good sentences? Similarly, friends, when your mother cooks food for you, if there's less of salt, you'll always go and complain. Today the food was not good, salt is not good, I don't get good food. But when the food is good and tasty, can't you just go and say, today the food was very good? So friends, I just would like to say, become a compulsive good finder. Wherever you can, find good things and express them. Because finding good things and not expressing them will also not do. So this is a small thing which I'd like to share, and basically try and change the whole scenario. And friends, before giving way for the Honorable President and Vice President, I'd just like to say that, well, you'll all become CAs. I'm confident of that. The only thing which is required is some hard work. And that I'm sure once you've joined CA, you've taken up the challenge, you will definitely and very soon become Chartered Accountant. Thank you, and wish you a great future. Thank you.
Thank you, Manu, for wonderful informations you have provided and motivated the students how we can see the positivity and how we can ignore the negativities. Thank you, Manu, for your address. Definitely, please be with us, and definitely I will throw some questions to you when we are going to take question answers. Devasis sir, our Vice President, going to be President, and I always call him the World Congress President, because India is going to host the World Congress in the year 2022, and this is the Olympic for we accountants, and this is the first time ever in the history of ICAI we are going to host. And thank you very much, Devasis sir, for joining us. A piece of information just I want to tell you, Vice President sir. Presently, we have 3,399 students online who are listening to you. And one thing students want to know, if some questions, so many questions we have received, mostly related to exam, if you can cover it. The student is asking if we get some wrong questions or out of syllabus questions, how ICAI deal with it, whether we should answer it or we should ignore it. So that is, if you cover in your presentation, it will be better for all the students. Thank you, President sir. Vice President sir, over to you.
Thank you very much. My council colleague Sushil Goel, who is the Chairman of Board of Studies Operations, the Honorable President of the Chartered Accountants of India, Nihar Jambusaria ji, the Chairman of Board of Studies Academic, my good friend Jay Chehra, the Chairman of Digital Accounting and Assurance Standards Board, Manu Agarwal, and to all my student friends, and more than 3,000 of them, as Sushil said, who are listening to us, a very, very good morning to all of you. Before I start off, a few words about the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. You are all budding Chartered Accountants. You are going to be part of an institute which is going to be the second largest accounting body in the world. Today, our student strength is approximately about 750,000, out of which about 44% are ladies. So such huge student strength. Today, we have 44 overseas chapters, 29 representative offices. We are present in 73 countries of the world. So when you pass the exam, you are going to be part of a huge monolith organization. So feel proud that you are doing a course which is being run by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, formed on 1st July 1949. Even before, India, so we are going to celebrate Republic Day on the 26th of January. We were formed on 1st of July 1949, even before India became a republic. So that is the kind of legacy and the history of the institute. I heard, three of my very illustrious council colleagues speak. And let me tell a few words about their thoughts. Jay Chhaya, he was speaking about, the study materials and everything. But Jay, my good friend, he's very famous for taking classes or giving lecture on a topic called innovate or evaporate. You see, and so many I have seen members and students listening to him. And you see, I will just pick up this word innovation. It is so important, my dear students, that we innovate. If you remain static, we will go nowhere. We'll go nowhere. So you see, when Jay Chhaya, the chairman of Board of Studies Academics, Grace Space Innovation, do make note of that. Sushil Goel, the chairman of BOS Operations, he's talking about soft skills. To my mind, your communication skills is your first calling card. If you communicate well, you are always noted, and you go that much far in your life. So do communicate well. When he does, the Board of Studies Operations does courses on GMCS and ITT, do attend those classes very, very well. Manu Agarwal ji is a technology man in the institute. Today, the technological development is so fast, and it is very important that we take technology, the technological changes, not as a disruptor, but more as an enabler. That today, when you register yourself or go to the institute site, you use SSP, self-service portal. Now, Manu Agarwal ji had worked so hard to ensure that SSP is functional, and today I'm sure you are taking advantage of the SSP portal that we are having. The President ICAI, Neha Jambusaria ji, has this time, formed the CRET, Committee for Review of Education and Training. What we are doing, and this is usually done once in 10 years, this is being done once in 5 years this time. What we are doing basically is, we are reviewing your curriculum. And I could see yesterday Jay Chhaya having chairing a meeting on that. We are reviewing your curriculum to ensure that all of you, when you pass off, become global accountants, and your worth, in the eyes of the stakeholders is very, very high. So the President, sir, is, pushing this agenda of the CRET, Committee for Review of Education and Training, and very soon you might have a new curriculum which will be amongst the best in the world. Jay was telling us about net practice. And I was listening to him, and he was saying mock test is something like net practice. And immediately when he spoke about net practice, one story about which Jay had heard me speak, and I'm sure Sushil also might have heard me speak, the story of Sunil Gavaskar and net practice. This man, he's now more than 70, and those of us who have seen the film 83, you must have also seen Sunil Gavaskar, there in this thing. He's now more than 70. Now, Sunil Gavaskar, when he was in the playing days in the 80s, 70s and 80s, he would do the net practice in Bombay. And he will go on every day, he will come to Bombay and do net practice. Then one gentleman was watching him, following him, and he found that he will go there for 3 to 4 hours and spend time in the nets. So this gentleman one day walked across to Sunil Gavaskar. And then, sir, he said that, don't you get bored doing the same thing again and again? What did Sunil Gavaskar say? He said, number one, I love cricket. Number two, practice makes perfect.
So
that's what he said. He said, I love cricket. Practice makes perfect. And he said, I'm passionate about cricket. And this is what you should be. You should be totally passionate about your course. And mind you, practice makes perfect. Manu Bhai was talking of being positive. When I was hearing him and he was hearing his lecture on being positive, I was reminded of APJ Abdul Kalam. We are also known as partner in nation building. And this term, partner in nation building, these words have been coined for us by the former President of India, APJ Abdul Kalam. But APJ Abdul Kalam, while speaking to students like you once, he had these two words, he defined them differently. Some student asked him that, sir, if I fail, it is the end of my life. APJ Abdul Kalam said, to me, the word fail means first attempt in learning. So if your results are coming out, I hope that all of you do very well. But by chance, if you fail, it is your first attempt in learning. And then that boy also said that, sir, if I fail, everything ends for me. APJ Abdul Kalam again turned around and said that end, END, should mean effort never dies. Always be persistent in your efforts and you will certainly get good results. I congratulate the Board of Studies Operations, Board of Studies Academic for having organized this program. I'm sure Sushil will lead this program very well. And I wish all my student friends the very best in all their future endeavors. Please note, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India will always be with you, hand in hand and shoulder to shoulder. Once again, all the very best to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vice President Sir, for motivating all our students. And President Sir and Vice President Sir, let me inform both of you, there is huge demand seeing the figures which is presently logged in, that the figure is on our ICAI TV. This much students are logged in on our ICAI TV. I just want to inform all of you that this program is also live on Twitter and Facebook. So if we add all the figures, it is almost 7,000 presently. 7,000 students watching this program. So this is the information. And now we come to our President Sir. President Sir, who is first time seen in media, speaking the viewpoint of ICAI so boldly, we all appreciated. We all never seen this in the past, sir. So you have proved that the ICAI is organizations where we have also to speak something. And President Sir, you will surprised to note, number of students want to know whether small audits are going out or not. So definitely I am requesting you to cover this topic, that whether this audit is going out or not. And as you have already announced the exam, so nobody asked when the exam dates are, but everybody is asking why few small exam centers are deleted this time. Please inform about this. And last, they are more interested in knowing the tentative date for results. So over to our Honorable President Sir to speak to students. Thank you, President Sir, for being here. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sushilji. Respected Vice President of the Institute, CA Dr. Debashish Mitra, Chairman, Board of Studies Operations, CA Sushil Goyalji, Academics, CA Jai Chairaji, Chairman of Digital Accounting and Assurance Board, Manu Agarwalji, and even members from our team, from SSP, from exams, and even from the Board of Studies, and student friends. When last time Sushilji announced the number 3,999, I thought he is announcing about a pricing done by Bata, who used to always price a product just one less than 100. But now you have clarified that if you include YouTube and the social media, then the number is much beyond 4,000. It is nice to address such a large number of students, and I can understand what is the interest of students and how much eager they are to listen to what is happening really at ICAI. And therefore, let me begin with complimenting both the Board of Studies, Student Skill Enrichment Board, as well as BOS Operations, for organizing this talk for the students, where we can speak heart to heart. First of all, I think I have planned to speak on some other subjects also. But first, let me answer questions which Sushilji has raised. About the probable date, it seems it may be somewhere in the middle of February. We are unable to finalize, but our attempt is to see that results come out as early as possible. And the timeline, which we generally have every year, we are cutting down on the exam department and insisting that as early as possible we declare the result, even before, say, middle of February. So our attempt will be that. Now, on cutting down some of the smaller centers, I think, let me openly speak with you and not hide anything. Let there be transparency. What we observed that during the pandemic, our motive was to help students and have centers even in a small place where there are 4 or 5 students. We did that, students were facilitated. But what we observed in the last exam was that where there is a very small center and the number of students are 2 or 3, it is very difficult to monitor the quality, the norms which are being followed. And although we designate staff to look after that center, it becomes absolutely difficult for that member to look after the utmost discipline with which the exams are required to be conducted. In some of the smaller centers, we observed malpractices had cropped up, and we had to deal with it, and there were disciplinary cases. So we are avoiding very small number centers with very small number of students. However, we are still retaining centers where there are around 40-50 students. So we are trying to facilitate the students, but you will appreciate that for all these 72 years, the institute is known for its strictness in exam, its quality, the discipline that is maintained in the exam. And we would like to continue to have this brand intact for the institute. And that is how some of the centers where the number was too small only are avoided. Otherwise, even smaller centers continue. For students, particularly this kind of talk, and last year when this board of studies was split into 2 parts, academics and skill building, questions were raised whether it is required to be split into 2 parts. But if you look at the expectations of society, government and people, they expect that a chartered accountant should not only be technically very excellent, but also presentable, and should have all the soft skills like negotiation, cross-cultural, communication, everything. And therefore, this splitting of this board into 2 parts really worked very well last year. It is working very well this year. And that is how this board is organizing this talk for you, where 5 of these sessions are on soft skills. Manubhai very rightly put, positive attitude and positivity in life is very important. And therefore, for students, let me put it this way, that many students ask a common question, whether the result of 10% is because the institute curtails the result. The answer is clear no. And I will not talk about the policy, but you may straight away see the evidences. The students who have called for copies of their papers have many times found that the marks in the answer book were less, but the marks in the mark sheet were more. If this is the case, is it not evident that institute encourages good result? It doesn't curtail result. And please remember, if there are complaints that some questions were out of syllabus, students are adequately compensated. If suppose by any chance a wrong question is asked, students are adequately compensated for that. So the institute takes good care of you. You are not left to the mercy of God. You are in very safe hands. Both the chairman of Board of Studies, the examination committee takes care to see that the students get marks for what they write, and at the same time we maintain quality. See, today you have this facility to ask any question, and you may raise a number of questions on academics, on skill sets. Even SSP team is here, so you can raise questions if you are facing difficulty in administration, say in registering or getting your books on by the CDS system. There is exam team also. I think you can only not ask one question to them, or you cannot ask them to pass you. The reason is that passing you is not in the hands of exam team. It is in your hands. If you prepare well and write well, then nobody can fail you. And I can assure you this sincerity with which examination committee works. I may give you one or two examples of steps which were taken in last 1 or 2 years. See, the examiners now have to undergo a test and score more than 70% to qualify as examiner. The same thing is to be done by paper setters. Secondly, your paper checking is now online, where there are several checks established to see that the quality of evaluation is the best. So institute is doing its best to ensure that the students get marks for whatever right answers they've written. And if suppose there is anything wrong in the question paper, by any chance, generally it doesn't happen, but it is a rare possibility. After all, human beings draft question papers. So if sometimes there is some error, students are adequately compensated for that. I may only ask you that as students in today's world, particularly Jai Bhai mentioned that the exclusivity of Bollywood he has snatched away. You were allowed to hear the songs on YouTube, etc. Now you can have your studies also. You can hear it on YouTube or any channel, ICAI channel. And to that extent, Bollywood may file a suit against ICAI. Why our exclusivity you have snatched away, but the institute has done it for students. So they have tried to make study as interesting as possible. And you can study in a far better way than what we had the opportunity to study. We had simply the study material, even its quality was not so good. The printing quality was not so good. Now you have e-books, you have facility to study with mobile apps, you have ability to study in various modes. So institute is trying to facilitate your study in the best possible manner. In the exams also, whatever reforms are required, year after year we are introducing. The Vice President talked about CREATE, and I may mention only one or two things about CREATE. Although the syllabus revision and the training modules revision is in the final stage, yet the final discussion is to take place maybe in next week or next to next week. But the concepts that we are introducing and which started from last revision is that test application of the student. So application-based testing. So yesterday in the CREATE we were discussing how many more papers we can have on open book system and whether we can increase even MCQs. If we increase, what should be the quality of MCQ? Whether specialization should be offered at CA exam level or post-qualification level. So all these important topics we were discussing, and we are trying to see that this course remains one of the best in the world. In the syllabus, we are incorporating features such that after you qualify as CA, you will be in demand globally, not only in India. So the course would be recognized globally. some of you may have to go through the new course, because once it is implemented, probably there will not be waiting period. It may come into force immediately and you will have benefit of it. So these are some of the developments about which we thought we will talk in the inauguration session. Now I will not take away your time of asking questions and getting them resolved through the experts who are here. Thank you so much for inviting us, and it was pleasure speaking to students who are the future of this profession, the country and the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, President sir, for taking all the queries. Almost queries are in this field only. So taking these queries and as well as the motivating students, I think number of doubts we have received so far, almost 2,000 questions. I just want to inform all of you. We will not able to answer, but definitely we will try to respond you through email. So President sir and Vice President, thank you for your valuable time. We want to offer a lot of thanks to President and Vice President sir for coming and joining. Me, Jai Bhai and Manu Bhai will be there with the entire ICAI team, Board of Studies, exam, SSP, everybody is here online to help us. And President and Vice President, before you withdraw, before you accept my vote of thanks and withdraw, I just want to request you, because the response I am seeing, this type of program is required every month. Every month we should interact with the students, so they are not listening from somebody else, because so many confusion people are getting. ICAI deduct marks, ICAI fail, ICAI fix the results. As President sir has correctly mentioned, if you match your answer script marks with your marksheet marks, you will able to understand. And friends, President sir has not mentioned, but I want to inform all of you, never any student fail for 1 mark, 2 mark or 3 mark. Never. But whereas lot of students passing by getting 40 marks in one paper and exactly 200 marks in the aggregate. So this is how the ICAI, those who are little bit behind the result, behind the passing marks, we have a wonderful system built in to make it pass. So never, and first and foremost thing I want to inform before President Vice President, in front of them only I want to inform, please have faith on your alma mater. ICAI is our alma mater. Please have faith in the system. Our system is the world-class system. Whatever ICAI has built over the 73 years, it is not developed in 1 day or 2 days. It is developed over 73 years and tested, time-tested things. Our exam systems are robust. We have proved that in the COVID situations also, when Nihar sir was Vice President, we have conducted the best possible exam in the world. Our exam were taken as a model system of examination during the COVID time. So these are the achievements of ICAI. Please be connected with ICAI always. Keep on writing emails to ICAI. Now we have e-Sahayata also. There you can raise your queries. e-Sahayata is working fine. President sir and Vice President sir has not spoken about it, but they are working very hard to establish a call center through which you can get resolved your queries immediately. These works are going on. Thank you, President sir and Vice President sir. Now I want to ask few questions. I want to take up the queries. Queries, as I inform, it is more than 2,000 now. Let me try my best to handle as many as queries which we can handle today. Rest, as I promised, that will be answered through email. So I'm starting with grace marks. One question was there. Please speak about the awarding grace marks for wrong answers. President sir has taken this query, so I am not taking up this. Jai Bhai, this correct question is coming to you because you are also handling correct. Sir, when we will able to see open book test, and most particularly in IPCC. So anything you want to speak about this, Jai Bhai?
Sushil Bhai, is a wonderful question. Correct has already been formed, as you know very well. And for correct, there are a number of meetings. In all, I think you know very well, up till now, some 14 to 15 meetings have taken place for correct for different aspects. And a consolidated correct meeting has also taken place. Very soon, 1 or 2 more consolidated correct meetings will be there in council meeting. We will be discussing this. But a student has to understand, when we want to change the mode, then passing through the CRET, it is council has to be approved. Council has to approve. Finally, it goes to the government. Once the government approves something, then only students should be happy to note that we are the institute set up by the Act of Parliament, and we are straight away with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So whenever some major structural change comes up in ICAI, it has to pass through the government. So once the government clears it after the council, I think open books, a little more rather than one subject. There can be some 3 to 4 subjects with open books. So we'll have to wait till then.
Next question I want to ask Manu Bhai. I have enrolled for both groups of the syllabus of intermediate, but can I appear in one group only? Whether this is permitted, sir?
I could not get the question. The question probably...
The student enrolled for both group of IPCC, but he want to appear one group at a time.
Why not? Why not? Because just by applying it does not mean he has to give. He'll obviously be marked absent and it will be counted as absent. That's it. He can.
Thank you. Thank you. Jai Bhai, whether this new curriculum will have new subjects also, or this old subject will be reshuffled? This is one student want to know.
Well, I think students are curious enough to know about the new syllabus. First and foremost thing, I hope and I wish that before the new syllabus comes in, you become chartered accountants. That is my wish and my hope. But at the same time, I think the question is very pertinent. So, Sushil Bhai, what we are doing is, we know the accounting principle of consistency, right? So, consistently following some few subjects we cannot compromise. Like, can we even imagine that we want to discontinue the subject like accounting or finance or direct tax or GST or costing or corporate law? I think we cannot even imagine. So, we have to understand one thing. 80% of our subjects are very much core. We cannot even imagine. Of course, within the subject, there can be pluses, minuses. So accounts will continue as a subject. Maybe within that, it may be so that accounting standards which are revised may be a part of it. IFRS can be a part of it. But 80 to 90% subjects basically will remain the same. Of course, there will be some changes. There might be some new subjects which might come in, looking to the technology requirement, looking to some other things. Of course, one more thing that we are expecting is more, I can say, choices to the students in terms of specialization. For that, number of subjects can be added, but I can say that 80 to 90% of our subjects are core subjects: taxation, law, audit, accounts, and I don't think we can do away with these subjects. We have to consistently continue with that.
Thank you, Jai Bhai. One very pertinent question, and Manu Bhai can answer only this. Sir, because of growth of AI, what would be the demand of CA?
Well, it's a question which probably is not only on the forefront or not only on the minds of students, but of chartered accountants also. In fact, friends, I'll just share World Economic Forum is being doing regular surveys, and basically their conclusion is that, yes, the profession which is at utmost risk or which is at most risk is the profession of accounting and accountants, auditing. But well, friends, now Sushil Bhai asked a slightly different question. How will chartered accountants be impacted? Now, the profession will undergo a sea change. What today you do manually will all be replaced by machines. But that does not mean that the importance or role of a chartered accountant decreases. His role changes from finding out to analyzing the results. Today, he spends most of his time in deciphering, in finding out, in basically trying to evaluate that data. Tomorrow, what is going to happen is that the machine will do this part and he will apply his brain and be able to come out with better results. His job would become more meaningful. It is, to give a very old example of something which used to happen. If you remember, Sushil Bhai, at the time, there was a big debate. Will calculators make the human being redundant? Will his mind stop working? Will he forget calculation? Well, calculators did not do that. It became an enabler. Simply AI will become an enabler.
Thank you, Manu Bhai. Wonderfully taking this question. Now I want to take another question. First, a few still students have asking when the ICAI will announce its result. As persons are informed, mid of February we will announce the result. The exact date is not yet finalized, but middle of May, February result will be announced. And when will be the next exam? ICAI already made announcement. Exams will be conducted from 14th of May this year. Because after the announcement of the result, there will be sufficient time to be given to the student who has appeared in the last exam to fill the form again if they are unsuccessful in this exam. So, considering all this, the exam will be taking place from 14th of May. Who want to answer this? Because good number of students are asking whether revision in stipends for Article 6. Whether there is revision of stipend in Article 6 is expected. One thing I want to say before Manu Bhai or Jai Bhai, whoever want to take these questions, one thing I want to inform all the students. Our course is anyway considered as lowest lowest priced course, highest valued course. Friends, never see this stipend as a remuneration for the work you are doing. Nobody can pay that. It is only your traveling expense or daily allowances only, just to cover your local conveyances, nothing more. Never consider your stipend as a amount you devoted for your work. Because you are supposed to pay for that, because you are going to learn there. You are not going to work there. First, always keep in mind, if you keep in mind this, that you are going there to learn, then no questions of stipend will come in your mind. But still, I will request Manu Bhai and Jai Bhai to throw light on this.
Sushil Bhai, I think you have answered the question already by saying that students should not consider this as a remuneration. But just to add to what Jai Bhai said, I think this is under active consideration and it has to be approved and go to the government before it actually takes place. So when will it happen? I think we are probably not in an exact position to answer right now. But all I can say is it is under active consideration. And once again, I would reiterate what you said. It should never be considered as a remuneration of what somebody is doing. It is a learning experience. Basically, what differentiates a CA from any other professional is probably this 3 years of training. The more you do it, the better a person you become and would be ready to face the challenges in the future. So just concentrate and please do not think of it as a remuneration.
Thank you, Manu Bhai and Jai Bhai. I will have another question for you. But before that, I just want to office to share the presentations which is prepared for the international conference, which is 29th and 30th. And my friend, if you attend this conference, lots and lots of learning. I always say one chartered accountant equal to 2 MBAs from IIM minus the soft skill. And these conferences are the best possible manner where you can develop the soft skills. And we chartered accountant always known for technically filled up with the knowledge, but somehow we are not know how to market ourselves, how to present ourselves. Soft skill is the requirement. And if even you are attending the this conferences, seminars, symposiums, you get so many things to know, so many things to learn. And if even you are not presenting paper, but you are seeing a student is presenting paper, your views will be different about yourself. But if some senior is presenting paper, although you are not motivating you that much, but if your age students presenting the paper, the way they present paper, how they work for this, how they prepare for it, it will definitely motivate you. I also got motivated when I was a student seeing one of my friends presented paper. Why I can't do this? So it is a big motivation. Please register for these conferences. Office to share the presentation, whatever they have prepared. 1 minute presentation is not a longer one. Please. And after that, very pertinent question I will ask Jai Bhai. How to prepare for CA exams? How to prepare for CA exams? Jai Bhai is the master in this and he will definitely take up this question. Over to office.
Yes, sir. We are sharing, sir. We are sharing.
So once it is over, please let me know because I can't see the presentation right now. Because we are on Zoom. Thank you, office. Thank you for sharing this. One more screen I want office to share. That is the helpline number for CDS, because a lot of students want to know helpline number for CDS because they are facing difficulties while getting the material delivered in time. So where to contact, whom to contact. They want to know if office is ready with the slide. They can share what are the helpline number of the CDS, that is the centralized distribution system in ICAI. Can we share? Yeah. Please make it center screen. It is visible, but it is coming largely on the left-hand side. If a student can see it, yes. And friends, I want to inform all of you, the CDS helpline is also working on Sundays. No holidays for the CDS system. And friend must be, you must get help from the CDS. Now, over to Jay Bhai, how to prepare for CA exam. Over to you, and I believe this will be the last questions because our time was booked up to 12:30 only. So over to Jay Bhai. Jay Bhai, please do not cut short for this timing issue. Please speak whatever you want to speak on the topic. Jay sir is there? Yes, Jay sir.
Yes. Sushil Bhai, so your question was regarding examination. I'm sure this is a favorite question for most of the students. How to clear CA exams or how to prepare for them. Well, I would say that this is a very long question, a very elaborate answer can be given. I'll try to make it very condensed. But first and foremost thing is, we divide into different parts. Preparation before some 2 to 3 months of examination. Of course, it is better if you start preparation from day one. But at least for the last 2 to 3 months, a person has to be much more vigilant. So last 2 to 3 months is one of the concept. Second is last 15 days of examination. How to prepare for that. Number 3, on the day of examination, how to prepare. And number 4, while you are into examination, how to look into it. And number 5, or thereafter. So anyway, very quickly, for the 3 months if we talk about prior to examination, a student should be very clear as to how he is going to justify all the subjects. So generally it so happens, if there are 8 subjects, I might like 5 and I might be biased with 3. Maybe I like direct taxes and maybe I don't like indirect taxes. Maybe. But that does not work. A student has to be perfectly prepared that all the 8 subjects are important, equally important, and he has to clear. So that mindset has first to be developed. And in the 3 months, he has to set a proper timetable. I would just suggest the students very quickly that divide the subjects into 3 parts. 1, all the calculative subjects, accounts, finance, costing, these are calculative subjects, practical. Number 2, are subjects where you have to use more of memory and application, income tax, GST, company law. And number 3, where description matters a lot, audit, strategic management, information technology. So divide into 3 parts and ensure that daily you study at least 2 or 3 subjects. From each category, 1 subject. You should not study direct taxes and indirect taxes together. Similarly, accounts and costing together. Rather, accounts plus direct taxes and costing plus indirect taxes can be a better option because one uses your hard disk more, another uses your CPU more. So that is the first thing. Second is, during the last 15 days, or rather I would say even 3 months, the current problem, Manubhai, you will agree with me, is that, there is too much of social media pollution, I'll use the word. So a student should ensure that he gets rid of WhatsApp, Facebook, his favorite Instagram for some time and see to it that he does not take away his precious time for these useless things. He should totally focus on the studies. During the days of examination, one important thing is how to remain very healthy, physically as well as mentally. I think that is one thing that a student has to look into. Regarding the preparation, as I say, okay, at least 2 to 3 subjects a day, one from each group. I think these are some basic things a student should take care of it. Sushil bhai.
Thank you, Jai. Yes. Manu bhai, want to add here, please?
Yes, Sushil bhai, just one small thing which I would like. Jai bhai wonderfully explained, and I think it's really good for the students. One thing I would also like to share here is, friends, that hard work is one of the key things which you have to do. I would just say intelligence, many people may have, but is not enough, because I've a number of times seen people with great ability, with great intelligence, but not the requisite diligence, have failed, but those who diligently did it with lesser ability have succeeded. And we all know the famous tortoise and hare story, where the hare became complacent. He had so much ability, but ultimately the tortoise won. And I would just end by saying कि न किसी राह से न किसी राह गुजर से निकलेगा, हमारे पांव का काटा है हम ही से निकलेगा. So friends, it is the hard work which we have to do, only we can do, and we will do. I'm sure of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Manu bhai. Really, hard work have no substitutions. And one thing I want to inform all our viewers, Jai bhai, such a great motivator. His 2 office boys are now chartered accountant. Can you imagine who were working as an office boy in the Jai bhai's office, and now he motivated them, he guided them, and the both are now chartered accountants. So you can understand the power of the motivation from Jai bhai. So do not take his words lightly. He is great motivator, and all this what you can see behind him are not something to design here. These are the qualifications acquired by Jai bhai. These are the qualifications, not the certificates. And certificates are kept in the file because they are not finding places over there. Jai bhai is the Prince of Surat award, won number of years. Nobody got this award till Jai bhai was claiming this award. So Prince of Surat, Jai bhai and Manu bhai in his field of IT excelled much beyond us, our imaginations. Thank you both of you for joining us in absentia, President sir and Vice President sir, making this program a wonderful program. I hope lot of queries are resolved. Rest of the queries we will try to resolve through emails. It will take time. Please do not be hesitant कि मैंने तो सवाल पूछा था मेरा जवाब नहीं आया. We have tried to cover all the questions. I'm really thankful to entire office who are here just to help students, just to resolve their queries on the Sunday morning. In the winter Sunday morning, I should say, use the word. And thank you each one of you from all segments. ICAI officers, all seniors are available to us. They are supporting us from back end. The student must be thinking what they are doing. They are supporting us from back end, and that's why we are able to answer your queries. So thank you each one of you from joining. And students, wish to see you in the international conference on virtual platform on 29th and 30th once again. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
And special thanks to Sushil bhai for conceiving and designing and executing this program. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Sushil bhai. Wonderful conference.
We will request President sir to organize this type of program every month, because we should communicate with our students. This is the motto. And we are one. कल हम स्टूडेंट थे, आज हम काउंसिल मेंबर हैं. आज आप स्टूडेंट हो, कल आप काउंसिल मेंबर बनोगे. So this is no difference between you and us, we students, you students and we council members, or we chartered accountants. We never differentiated chartered accountant of 1 day old or 75-year-old. Chartered accountant is a chartered accountant. Similarly, this is an organization which is for the chartered accountant, of the chartered accountant, by the chartered accountant. Thank you. Good day ahead.